What's up, everybody? How you doing? Oh man, I know it's been a while, but I'm out here, as you can see, in New York City, down near Washington Square Park. I hope this is working. I don't have my headphones in, but I have my trusty lavalier mic connected, and I got this shit connected, so it should be good. We should be okay. You know, I was out here supposed to hang out with the homies. Things fell apart, so I figured why not check in with you guys, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about. We'll get to that. Obviously, 50 Cent, I got some things to say about his whole shenanigans right now, but mostly I just want you guys to see, you know, New York City in the wintertime. It's cold as fuck out here. I know it doesn't look like that right now, but like it is actually pretty brick out here. It's like starting to snow. Uh, Real winter is happening out here. Uh, I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here. But it's also been 4 months since I've made a real video, so maybe no one will come in here. And that's fine also. You know what I mean? I'm just out here to fucking have fun and try out these lives. I've never really done any lives before. Usually I'm cutting stuff. I have a regular job, but I'm also an editor. So I'm kind of used to doing that type of stuff. Cutting stuff up and everything when I make content, or even when I make content for other people. So I'm not that used to having, a live stream just going and you can just talk and talk and talk. But luckily for you guys, I never shut the fuck up. So, is a reason why I think I might be good at this. Yeah, it's brick out here. I'm hanging out. We're actually in the what is it? It's the West Village. West Village. I was gonna say Lower East Side. I'm like, bro, sorry. I was pre-gaming a little bit. Brought a little pre-game as well to take to the park, or as I like to call it on the live stream, an Arizona iced tea. That's what we're gonna call it out here. I don't know if the Fed's listening right now. We got an Arizona iced tea on a Friday night. Ready to sip on that. Oh man, it's good to see you guys. I was wondering too. I was wondering like how this shit would look on on like the dead of night. My black ass out here. I don't have no ring camera or nothing like that, but I got this new iPhone. What up, Fortnite 200? How you doing, dog? Appreciate the love. Thank you for coming checking it out. I hope you're warm on this Friday night, because I am not. I'm one of those dumb dudes who comes out, doesn't wear any gloves, nothing. You're cool too, dog. You're cool too. I don't know you, so I can't confirm that, but like, you complimented me, and as an American, if somebody compliments you, you kind of have to compliment them back. Yeah, subscribe to me, man. Subscribe to me. I appreciate that shit. I'm out here trying to have a little vid. It's not really what it used to be, and blah blah blah. But nah, man. I think there's a lot of lively parts to it. I mean, right now we are in Washington Square Park, and as you can see, it's kind of dead. But if you actually get a little closer, we're gonna go in and hang out and kind of chill out. Thank you for the subscribe, Fortnite 200. I appreciate you, dog. And we're gonna go out. We're gonna check out what's happening right now. If you guys aren't from New York City, Washington Square Park is one of the best places to hang out. Number one, because there's always some like cool shit going on. Like, this place, if you ever come out here, especially during the day, especially during the summer, there's always some like cool vibes. People just trying to chill. Okay, you from Iowa. Okay, well, I know it's cold over there. You need to get your ass over here, dog. hang out, with me and all the hippies out here trying to make viral content. But this place has always been cool to me, usually it'll come here on the weekends and there'll be dudes, like literally like playing like live drums, like a full drum set, like they're in a band, like with speakers and everything. Then there'll be a jazz band over there. Then there'll be a dude at piano, like a full grand piano over there, and then people just selling stuff all over the place, man. Shit is kind of crazy. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Merry Christmas to you too. I kind of needed that. I appreciate that because on some real shit, man. Like I'm not gonna be able to go back home for Christmas. This sounds kind of crazy, man. I just got a new job and I like it. It's good. I like it a lot. But right now we're kind of at crunch time, and it's one of those jobs where holidays and everything, you just got to be there. And it's better money, way better money. As a broke comedian, getting actual payments scheduled is fucking nice, but not for nothing. Not being able to hang out with the fam on Christmas and shit is kind of a fucking bummer, dog. Is kind of a fucking bummer, but you know, it is what it is. So I appreciate the Merry Christmas. This is kind of why I came out too, because I was like, I want to connect with people more online. If I'm not doing shit, I want to at least be productive out here. And speaking of productive, I'm gonna crack open my Arizona iced tea real quick for you guys, and we're gonna get to 50 Cent too. We're gonna get to 50 Cent real quick. There's a lot that's been happening in hip hop, as we know. I mean, today was the hearing with UMG, I believe, and Drake, and supposedly UMG didn't show up or something. I haven't read fully into it. That's the one thing that sucks about live streaming on your phone and not live streaming on the computer. You can't really fact check a bunch of shit. So trust me when I say your boy is gonna be spreading some rumors out here. But we're having fun, man. You know, your dad's in Minnesota. Tell him to get on stream. I need the views, dog. Tell him I need the views. But yeah, this whole Drake shit, man. This whole Drake shit and the UMG shit, bro. Like, it seems like it's really cooking. And honestly, Spotify just came out saying that, they don't bot streams, which, I'm not really inclined to believe them. Listen, I've been living in New York City for about 15, almost like 16, 17 years now. Okay. And I like to think that I've gained at least a little bit of street smarts. And one thing I know as far as street smarts is that I do not trust an agency to investigate itself and find wrongdoing. Do you? Because I don't. That's my one thing. I definitely don't. Like that's my main thing right now is like, obviously I am a Drake fan, but as a Drake fan, I'm extremely disappointed in this man and the way he conducts himself. This year has been a hard year to be a Drake fan. It has been a long 365 days. I will tell you that much. I yearn for the days of For All the Dogs release. And even then I was mad because that wasn't the album I expected. It's a good album actually now. I broke up with my girl when that album came out. And before I broke up with my girl when that album came out, I was mad. I was like, yo, this is supposed to be like a real Drake album. He's kind of doing a lot of bullshit, pretending that, he was going to put out a hardcore rap album, and then he puts out basically an R&B album. I was salty. And then all of a sudden, I'm not going to lie, I break up with my girl, and I'm like, this nigga's talking to me. I'm like, it's like he's speaking to me. It's like I am the only one in the room, So shout out to that. And yes, I believe you're not the only one here. There's like 3 people here. I had 10. We dropped down, but listen, I haven't been doing anything. I haven't been doing shit for 4 months, bro. I used to put out videos like every 2 days. So having 3 people in the room and 4 likes for me is the Hall of Fame. This might as well be the Grammys. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Ask your ask your mom to donate to me. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hit up the Cash App. It's just $ Phil Risdon. PhilRizdon. All right. I would love that. Bless your boy with a little bit of something, man. Cause I listen, like I said, it's been a rough year with this whole Drake shit, man. He sued. I can't believe, listen, as I am a Drake fan, but I am also a serious hip hop fan. And to sue in a beef is just despicable. Despicable. Like and I understand the whole fact of him being like, it's more about UMG and them botting streams. But my whole thing is you could do it, but you gotta wait quite a bit of time. He should have waited at least a year, maybe even 2 years. I'm not sure how statute of limitations go for like civil cases. If they really have those for civil cases, I'm not like well versed in that type of stuff. But at the same time, I feel like if he could wait 2, 3, 4 years, do that, and then make the case, because then you took the L like a man, but now you're coming at UMG for essentially sabotaging you when you're negotiating, which is a real thing, man. And that's a real gripe to have. Kendrick washed him, he destroyed him. Let's not play around with that. That's no lie. But they did actively work against this man. And as a representation of both artists, they should have stayed impartial. Like to boost Kendrick shit and then to down Drake shit, you know what I mean, is fucked up. Especially when Drake probably would have lost anyway. You know, I do like his music slightly better, but Kendrick's a better rapper. Like Kendrick is the type of dude, especially he has such an angry voice. He's the type of guy who like could be reading a fucking ingredients label for a bottle of mustard and sound like he wants to murder you. You know, that's how that's how that's how mean Kendrick sounds. You know, um, so it's like there's very few people that can win against that. And truth be told, when you talk about like battle rap and beefs and shit like that, bro, it's just like not for nothing. Like you know, there's a difference between being a better artist and a better battle rapper. There's a lot of people too who will say that Kendrick is the better artist, and I feel that, but I feel like there's a bit of a yin and yang with the two of them when it comes to hip hop. I actually feel like both of them are kind of on the same level. I might even give Drake the edge. Kendrick is more artsy. I'll definitely say that, and that scratches that itch for me. But like, I feel like I have to have both of them. When I got my headphones in, man, I like switching back and forth. There's nothing better than switching between Drake and then going over to Kendrick and then going back to Drake. And then you got a little bit of J. Cole as a palate cleanser, man. That's my vibe, you know. And thank you for saying I'm nice for night 200. You were hitting me up in the comments. I appreciate it. Anything to give me some traction. This type of stuff, it keeps me going, man. And it's cold as fuck out here. It does not help that I'm drinking a quote unquote Arizona iced tea while out here with no earmuffs, no gloves. I was sick 2 weeks ago, but hey, I'm here for you guys, man. Yeah, man, this shit is no fucking joke. But we gotta speak to 50 right now. We gotta speak on the whole 50 Cent situation that has been going on, and you know, if you don't know anything about it, recently 50 Cent was on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast, which has been in a lot of hip hop news as of recent. And if you don't know what's going on with that, we can just go all the way back. So 50 was on Andrew Schultz. Before 50 was on Andrew Schultz was kind of getting into this weird, I don't know if I would call it beef or even altercation, but just kind of like, you know, confrontation, I guess you could say, with Kendrick Lamar. I'm a big fan of Kendrick, so GNX. He just dropped GNX, which I'm kind of iffy about. If I have to rate it on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it like a 6.5. If I'm being honest, um, it's a good record. It's not that it's a bad record or anything like that. It's just the fact that it's his first like vibe record, and I feel like if you're gonna take a chance being like a vibe record guy, like really take some big swings. You know what I mean? It like to make a vibe record, but then make it like a West Coast vibe record is a little corny to me. You know, um, a little lame. Like I feel like take some real chances if you're gonna do some shit. You're always relying on the West Coast vibes, and I represent for the West, and that's cool too. But you just took down Drake, bro. So like I'm either expecting like what I was really expecting is something more like Damn or more like To Pimp a Butterfly to come out, but just really have some bangers on it, and that would be his complete decimation of what Drake had been representing for the last, decade and a half. But truth be told, it was you know, more of him just trying to experiment with shit, and more just like a West Coast victory lap, which is cool too. But it's just one of those things where I expected more. But I think he's gonna drop again. I think he's gonna drop again in the new year. That being said, let's get back to the whole 50 Cent shit. Uh, 50, as you know, like I said, was on Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz, the reason I brought up Kendrick Lamar, sorry I'm on tangents. I've been drinking a couple of Arizona iced teas. Um, I, there, Kendrick Lamar was beefing with Andrew Schultz. If you don't know, on GNX, there's a song called Whacked Out Morals where he says, no white comic should ever make jokes about black women. That's law. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he had said. Um, and you know, I'll see you later, Fortnite 200. Thank you. I hope you're not actually a child. This is not for kids. I mean, I haven't said anything crazy and everything, and I like to see myself as a good role model, but I'm out here, yeah, cursing and all that stuff. So do your thing, do your thing. Um, but yeah, Kendrick Lamar basically talks shit about Andrew Schultz on his album. The whole reason he talks shit about Andrew Schultz is because Andrew Schultz had these two British guys from a podcast called Shits and Gigs on his podcast, and he kind of used them to shit on black women. Essentially, he was making a lot of like random ass jokes and shit. It's kind of what he does, which is, it is what it is. I'm a fellow comedian, and I don't really think it's that bad, but I also think Kendrick Lamar has a right to say those things and come out and kind of call some people out. But I also think Andrew Schultz has the right to just be like, hey, like, who the fuck are you? And honestly, Kendrick, he needs to kind of watch out, because I feel like when it's rapper versus comedian, if it's ever rapper versus comedian, comedian always wins. Comedian always wins. Every day, all day. Because especially like with rap, it's like we all love rap, but truth be told, when we love these people, we're kind of suspending a lot of disbelief in who they are as people. You feel me? Like I still remember watching that whole clip of what was it, Sticky Fingers from Onyx getting clapped up by the Surfer White dude. And I wasn't around, like I was young when that happened. I think that must have been in like 99, 01. I was young when that happened. And I didn't watch it live, but watching the YouTube, I used to be super into Onyx. And when I saw that clip, that kind of took me out of Onyx for a little bit, because they talk grimy, and I'm like, you got your ass beat by someone from Rocket Power. That's not that gangster, and that's the big thing with like comedy. Comedy is about, yes, it's funny, yes, it's exaggerations, but it's a lot about calling out the truth and actuality in the world. And hip hop is not talking about truth and reality that much. Like it is, but it's like an exaggerated version of it, or because you like the person enough, you're willing to let them exaggerate in certain ways, and suspend disbelief. And Kendrick is a big type of person like that. Like I said, Kendrick, he has the type of voice that he could read a mustard bottle and sound like he wants to murder you. But truth be told, Kendrick Lamar is only like what, 5'4"? You know what I mean? The average guy who works out pretty frequently could probably throw him across the room, no matter how tough he talks. You know, so that's the truth. Um, and when you deal with somebody like Andrew Schultz, they're really going to be calling that type of mess out. You know what I mean? Which is why a rapper should never mess with a comedian. A comedian will get real with you and tell you where you sit. And that's why that whole like, oh, if me and him got down, he would just have to decide if it was consensual or not. It's like, it's fucked up. It's kind of lame. It's super weird and like mad freaky. And it's like, I don't really mess with it. But I'm like, he's kind of telling the truth. It's kind of telling the truth, you know? And, it's been an interesting time for Andrew Schultz right now, because I also want to say that I called it, man. I called it. About 6 months ago, I did a TikTok. I had a clip from my podcast that I put on TikTok talking about how Andrew Schultz, his whole audience is white guys who like black shit but don't like black people, and everybody came for me. Everybody, that thing went viral. I got 500,000 views on that. Everybody was hitting me with comments, calling me a hater, blah blah blah. And look at this. Now everybody's freaking out. Now people are trying to blame Charlemagne, you know? And the only person that could save Andrew Schultz, essentially, for street cred, because Andrew Schultz is always going to have viewership. So let's not lie and act like, like Kendrick Lamar fans are pulling out of Andrew Schultz, and now that's actually, that sounds suspect. Pause on that. Pulling out of Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar fans are pulling out of Andrew Schultz. Whoa, ayo. But saying like, oh, Kendrick fans and black fans aren't going to listen to his stuff means he's not going to survive. That's not true. He has tons of people that'll still listen to him, still go to his shows and everything. But it hurts his credibility. It really hurts his credibility as a, as like a hip hop comedian guy. And he's always been a white dude and unapologetic, white dude, but he's come up in those circles, and I think that does affect his ego and his emotions, at the end of the day, even if it's not going to affect the dollar, and especially too, not for nothing. I mean, this is America, black people make shit cool. If this is a dude who's like a, hip hop adjacent guy, and then black people are saying he's now not cool and he's racist and fucking lame, like, there are going to be some people who aren't really going to rock with it as much. So of course he had to call the cavalry, Mr. 50 Cent. And 50 Cent, man, right now is on a tear, man. I don't know what he is selling, what he is working on right now, but he is everywhere. He is going on a press tour. And I can't really think of anything. Like, is BMF coming out with another season in the next 2 weeks? Because this man is everywhere. Or maybe it's just he doesn't mind being in the spotlight. He just misses the spotlight. But there's something about it. And recently he's been having a lot of controversial views right now. I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram, but his Instagram has been crazy. Ever since Diddy ever just got questioned about anything and, his dealings with women, obviously 50 Cent came out clowning that, which I understand. Diddy's a creep. Diddy's a weirdo. He's done a lot of really awful shit. But I will say, sorry about the burp, but I will say, I will say, like, the obsessiveness is strange. And I'm not the only one who's thought about this. I'm not the only one who said it. I've noticed more YouTubers are starting to talk about this, and more just people on Instagram are starting to talk about this. Like, if you go in his like comments, people are telling him like, bro, like, watch what you say because things are gonna catch up to you. And it's getting kind of nuts, man. It's getting kind of nuts. He was always, about the whole Diddy thing, but now he's gotten on Jay because of the whole new case. And it's nuts. Like, it's not even just like commenting on shit. It's like weird, like AI videos and shit. Like, there's literally an AI video of Diddy and Jay-Z, and then they're posing, and then cops come and handcuff him and stuff like that, and like put him in jail. And every time people ask him how he feels about Jay-Z, he's like, "Oh, me and Jay are cool. We're just competitive." And I'm like, that's not any type of competition that I'm familiar with. If I'm being real with you, that's not like, and I'm not saying you guys have to like each other, but it just seems weird that you're commenting this heavily about people if you don't hate them, like truly, truly hate them. He hates City. The whole Hove thing was very, very weird. And it kind of came off strange. And there's a lot of people that have been kind of calling it out and kind of saying, like, bro, like, you need to chill out because you're not squeaky clean. Especially even on Flagrant, he was kind of talking a lot about it. And like, hey, I like joking around. I'm going to get up real quick. Mm. He's like, hey, I like, joking around because, regular people like to think that, we're all like this. And I just want to make it clear that not all of us are like this, which I think is a great point. That's real. But at the same time, bro, um, you know, it's almost like, what is that Shakespeare line? It's like, doth protest too much. It's like the fact that you're on them so much makes it seem like you have some weird shit going on. And if you know any of 50's like past history, you're like, yo, this thing kind of got some shit going on. And in Flagrant, they kind of brought that up. I think that dude, his name's Al, the black dude on there, was like, hey, aren't you worried about all this stuff? And, 50 Cent has actually had kind of a long history of domestic violence. At the end of the day, I'm not sure if all those things are true. Um, and yes, you're right. Vodka Simmons, you're absolutely right. They did try to blackball him. But that my whole thing about him though is like, if you feel that way, just say you don't like them. You know what I mean? I feel like he's too old, he's too grown, he's too successful to be doing this. Like, oh, me and Jay, like, we're just competitive. It's like, bro, you guys don't like each other. Why? Like, it's crazy because these rappers are so tough, but at the same time, they're mean girls with each other. You feel me? It's like you're fucking frenemies. It's like, just say you don't like the nigga. It doesn't have to be this like weird ass shit. Like, if 50 was just simply just like, I don't like him, ha ha ha, you know what I mean, and then made these videos, it'd still be lame because it'd be a little too much, but it'd be like, all right, I kind of get you, I feel you, you're kind of just like raining on their parade, you know um which is fair. But yeah, man, 50, he really does have his own demons, man. He has a history of, domestic violence that has been documented by police. He's had different, like, court orders that he's had to come through and deal with. And he's never been convicted of any domestic violence. He's only been convicted of like vandalism. But if you see everything where like a woman has ever filed charges with him, um, you'll see that domestic violence is always there, accompanying what he has done to them. And not even to mention, Daphne Joy, which is one of his baby moms, who Diddy used to use as a plaything at one of his freak offs, consensually, because she seems to still sometimes be on Diddy's side. Um, and that's one of the main reasons like him and Diddy don't mess with each other. More stuff, with Preem and everything too, but Daphne Joy was a big reason. But a lot of people don't know that, like, early 2024, she accused him of, R-wording her, and also said that he hits her, and this is not the first time this happened. And her case against him definitely got shut down because he has so much money, and it was just like, he hit her with like a defamation suit, which is what you're supposed to do if you're innocent. And I don't know, I've never been with them, so I wouldn't know if she's telling the truth or he's telling the truth. But the fact that it's just so many people, so many different times throughout time, it does not seem good. Like, if it was one person came out and then it was a pile on, I could be like, maybe. But if it's just like, yo, your first baby mom says one thing, the next person says another thing, the next person says another thing, each one's like 5-10 years apart from each other, it doesn't look good. And it doesn't look good enough for you to be making, videos about different people. And I know that's how he does. And you're right, Vodka Simmons, like, you know, that's definitely what he does. And if you're his enemy, he definitely doesn't let up. That's a fact. That's a fact. I can't debate that. Oh. And I appreciate the warfare, just from a Machiavellian standpoint. But at the same time, you know, uh, what is it like? One of those old proverbs was like people searching for revenge should dig two graves for you and the other person, and that's what I feel like he's getting himself into right now. I mean, 50, is a huge student of the 48 Laws of Power, and he even released a book called The 50 Laws of Power. But one of them is basically, I can't give you the actual quote because it's been a few years since I've read the book, but basically one of the main laws is one of the first 10 laws is like when you win, don't keep beating things into the ground because you become a bully, and then things basically like people will no longer love your victory. Like right now, he's ahead of Hove. He's ahead of Diddy. Simply because he hasn't been outed as a creep in any real way. In any way, you know what I mean? And that's cool. That's what's up. And I think a lot of people have recently been like, "Yo, is 50 Cent actually like, the cool guy?" Because he's always been demonized. You're right, and like blackballed as the guy who's like crazy or hard to work with. And a lot of people have been like, "Yo, is 50 Cent actually like the cool dude who's been calling shit out like forever?" Blah blah blah. It's facts. That's facts. But now because he's doing too much, I think people have kind of soured on him, and that's the reason why I said he's betrayed his people as well too. Because I feel like when he's coming at Diddy was one thing, but once he started coming at Hove, and what the developments have been happening with Hove's case, as far as like, it not really seeming, as credible as what was once thought. A lot of people are kind of looking at 50 a little weird, where they're like, bro, like chill out. And he's kind of alienating the main audience that has always been there for him, his people. You know what I mean? The dudes like just grimy hood niggas. Like, I love 50, but there's dudes like there's a certain type of guy who like loves 50. You know what I mean? Like, I love 50, but there's certain dudes that like love 50. And he's really pushing those guys kind of away while talking shit about Hov. Like the type of dudes who like read rappers' paperwork for fun. You know what I mean? And talk about who's snitching. Like those dudes, that's like 50's people, you know? But who are we to say a man is doing too much? Imagine someone telling you how to retaliate against someone who just smacks you. Not as facts. That's facts. And listen, on this live, this is just me talking about my opinion. I mean, 50 Cent doesn't even know who the fuck I am. And even if he did and heard this, he would still do whatever he wants to do. I'm just saying, as somebody on the outside seeing it, that with this behavior and his documented past, these things could possibly lead to a little bit of a dangerous litigation, if I'll say. you know. But that's up to him if he wants to do that. But this is one of those things that I'm just kind of seeing, and I think he's like I said, as far as like betraying his people and stepping away from that type of person that is so into him. Like now he's going on the Andrew Schultz podcast and everything, and like again with the whole Kendrick thing, it's like I feel like a lot of the guys that really mess with Kendrick also really really mess with 50, and like his whole vibe, it's kind of changing. Like he's becoming a little too commercial right now, you know. All of those celebrities stay on. That's a fact. You're right. You never know who knows who. That's true. I mean, I'm pretty positive that when my clip went viral about Andrew Schultz, that he watched it, because I fuck with some of the people that fuck with him, and I wouldn't be surprised that he saw it. Like a regular thing that I put out that gets like, 5,000, 1,000, 10,000. No, but this shit got 500,000 on TikTok, and then it got like a bunch on Instagram as well too, as well as on here on YouTube. And my whole thing was just saying that he's a dude who, like, whose audience loves black shit but doesn't like black people. That pissed everybody off. People were freaking out, hitting me up about it. So I'm sure he probably saw it. Whether or not he took it to heart, probably not. Because I gotta say about that dude, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he is somebody who does seem to stay laser focused, and I got respect for that shit, man. I got respect for that shit. But 50, man, 50's going commercial. He's betraying everybody. He's betraying the people that have kept him fed for years. You know what I mean? Like I'll be real with you. I love going on Threads and like and Instagram and shit, and seeing all his like diehard fans that hate Drake having to cope with the fact that he, for some reason, likes Drake. And I'm not saying that, I definitely think there's some reason for it. But it's just like, yo, they really have to deal with this shit. Like, that is a curveball. I did not expect that at all. He's doing, yeah, exactly. He's doing way more interviews than normal. There's something cooking. There's something cooking. I don't think he has anything with Drake officially in any way. I just think he wants to. I think he sees Drake at a low point, and he always liked Drake more than Kendrick. I think he just doesn't really like Kendrick Lamar. And he's kind of a jealous person, but whatever. I'm a comedian, so am I. It's fine. I'm a hater. I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Uh, that's just how I act. But I think he always liked Drake a little bit more than he liked Kendrick. And then he kind of thought Drake might win. And then once, Drake lost, he was like, all right, Drake's low right now. I can get close to him for some sort of business reason. And like, I'll be the guy that was there for him when nobody was there for him, And it definitely helps Drake's kind of, I guess, cred a little bit. I feel like a lot of people are seeing through it, but it definitely helps a little bit. But I don't know why he is out so much, but I just feel like it's rubbing people the wrong way, and this is the real thing of like, what needs to be talked about as far as like internet content for all of us, is just like overexposure. you know I'm out here burping in the fucking mic. I'm sorry, guys. Overexposure, dog. You can't put yourself out there too much. People get too used to you, and then they start getting sick of you. And with 50, I feel like that's happening right now. With Drake, that's definitely happened. He's been out so long, and even if he puts out something good, people, want to talk shit about it, which I feel some of his stuff definitely lacks a lot of substance. But I fuck with it. When you put it like that, maybe he sees himself in Drake. Remember when the whole, yeah, I think he does. I think he does see a lot of himself in Drake, surprisingly, and I think that really hurts his like hardcore audience, because it's a lot of like hood niggas, bro. And I don't think they really want to see that in him, but I think he totally actually does relate to Drake in a lot of ways, because like the whole industry came for him when he was out, in a million different ways, and he was like a disruptor. Like, I know it seems weird to kind of categorize Drake as somebody who like, changes things and, is anti-establishment because he's so incredibly popular. But at the same time, he he really is. It's like from the moment Drake's been on top, like most of the people in mainstream have never really liked him. You know what I mean? As far as like, even when the beef started with Kendrick, I had a big feeling that Kendrick was going to win. Yes, Kendrick is a very, very talented rapper, and I think a more superior lyricist. But I knew Kendrick was going to win because Kendrick has always been the media darling kind of guy, which is what 50 Cent said. He's always been that guy where it's like if they're writing an article about Kendrick Lamar or Drake, it's always like, oh, Drake is the mainstream bubblegum guy and Kendrick is the underground guy. Meanwhile, they're both the mainstream guy. In fact, they're both repped by the same fucking label. You know what I mean? And the label has been marketing them as here's the ultra artsy guy and here's the mainstream guy, and that's kind of how they've been put through. But they're both completely mainstream. People say Drake is a pop artist, and he is. He's absolutely a pop artist. But he's also a rapper too. But here's the thing: Kendrick Lamar is also a pop artist. You cannot have a fucking song with Taylor Swift and not be a pop artist. JID is a pop artist on some songs. He's not a pop artist every single time, but he's a pop artist sometimes. We have to get used to the fact that like hip hop is the new pop. It really has, and it has been for the last like 15 years, bro. That just is what it is. You know, um, someone like A Boogie with the hoodie probably wouldn't have been popular, 20 years ago, but now because hip hop is the new pop, he is. You know, it's all pop, man. Unless you listen to Rock Marciano, it's all pop, dog, and it's fine. Like hip hop can have different sounds, and also too, it's like just because they do pop doesn't mean that they don't dip back into their bag and do whatever they need to do. You can be multiple things. I feel like that's the main thing about hip hop too, is we get so stuck in like what it all is. We get so rigid and like even though we don't gatekeep with like corny rappers, we still gatekeep on like what hip hop even means. It's like, bro, like hip hop can kind of be anything. Like, you know, people talk about hip hop has a lack of lyricism right now, but truth be told, if we're talking about it, hip hop has more lyricists now than it ever did in like the 90s. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about a lyricist element. There was more of a lyricist element back then, obviously, but at the same time, they're just physically like hip hop is so popular now that like physically there are more lyricists. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, you know, in the 1990s, most of the rappers that were out that were popular were lyricists, but like, there's still some like bubblegum dudes who were here for the slaps, whatever. But like, think about it. How many acts were out, with record deals? It's probably like 100 different rappers, with record deals, actually with record deals. Now, everybody can put their shit out through the internet, and there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing all different subgenres of hip hop. So, like, yeah, there's 1,000 bubblegum pop dudes like Powfu who like rap but kind of don't rap. Then there's different dudes like Conway the Machine who are like about that like real gritty type shit, Boldy James and all that type of stuff. And it's a mix. It's a mix. I'm about to throw this Arizona iced tea away. It's a little cold out here. Mm. Man. But yeah, man, hip hop is changed in a lot of ways. And I think there's so many people that are like very judgmental about it and just sore. Like, you know, there's a lot of dudes who are just a little, I don't want to say like just old because I'm older, you know, I'm 33 this year and everything. But at the same time, I can still recognize, these young dudes who are doing different things, even if it sounds different. You know what I mean? But there's certain people where it's just like, yo, if it's not who they like were listening to in high school, they don't want any parts of it, bro. Any parts of it at all. And the worst part that like really annoys me about people like that is that they think that like they have this mentality of just like, this is what real hip hop is, and everything else is fake. And it's like, no, it's all hip hop. This is the type of hip hop you like. And like, not for nothing, I almost see you as not a real hip hop fan. If that's the only hip hop you like, you think of it in like this weird box. You know what I mean? Instead of a really influential, genre that has changed everything. I mean, hip hop has become a genre that has kind of really made waves across all music. I mean, even people like Taylor Swift and like Sabrina Carpenter, it's like when they're making songs, they're rapping, bro. They're rapping. Like, what's that song Sabrina Carpenter has? Um I can't remember the name of it. But like, no, literally the whole shit. Yeah. You want to get on this?
How do you follow you got? City, baby.
I got like four people.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Let's go.
What's up, man?
What's your name on Insta?
Oh, it's Phil Risen. I'm on YouTube right now. I'm on YouTube. Say hi to the homies, dog.
Oh, what's up?
Let's go,
What's
homie.
up?
It's been 4 months since I've put out like any videos, so I just threw it on out here. I was hanging out in the park.
What was it like keep subscribers?
Peak subscribers, 120.
120. Yeah.
Oh, subscribers. I got like 1,200.
Yo.
Yeah. So it's not bad. I'm doing my shit.
Bro, bring it back.
120 watching the stream. So like, I'm trying to be back out here doing my thing.
That's okay, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad, man. But I gotta keep going. But yo,
Fuck yeah.
thank you, dude.
my boy. Yeah,
appreciate the support, dog. Phil Risden on YouTube. I got fans out here, dog. See how that shit is, man? I got 4 people watching. But this shit's about to be fun tonight, man. Out here talking shit. Yeah, remember Miley Cyrus jumped in and out of hip hop like it was double dutch? Exactly, bro. Like, bro, this is how this shit be going, dog. And it's like, it's really changed how singer-songwriters in general make music. So I feel like for a lot of people to be like, hip hop can only be this fucking like one thing, and if it doesn't sound like this, if it doesn't sound like boom bop, then that's not hip hop. It's like, bro, you're really downplaying how versatile the genre is and can be in so many different ways. And like, I don't know, there's just so much that hip hop is given to me. Like, I really just care about it. Like, I listen to so many different other genres of music. Facts. Like, I listen to a bit of EDM. I listen to a lot of like indie rock, which I might start making like indie rock videos as well too. Because there's some bands that I definitely mess with as well. But like, yo, hip hop is just home for me, dog. Hip hop is home for me, and it always has been. It always has been, man. And I feel like when people kind of talk about hip hop that way, where they're like, it's only one thing, I feel like they just don't really have the respect for it that they should. And that really bothers me a bit, because there's just so much more to it than beats and breaks, But that's just me. That's just me. God damn, it is cold out here. That was what's up though. That those 2 dudes were actually like, down to check out the live, bro. There's something out here. I swear to God, man. I know there's only 3 of you guys. We only got 5 likes. The motion is small, and I was lying. I think 120 is a lot. I've been on different lives, not on my channel. I've done lives with other people where there's like 200, 250, whatever. But never one on here. But that's what I like to call manifestation. Okay, baby? We out here. If I do this shit every day for 6 months, which I'm probably not going to do it every day, but you know what I mean? If I'm like really pushing out here all the time, talking about poignant shit, what you guys care about, I'm sure I can reach 120, 250, whatever the fuck, and put it out here, man. Look at this beautiful face. I know some of y'all fuck with it. I'm actually about to go to Jamaica in a few weeks in January, and I'm going to be doing a lot of live content out there in Jamaica. I'm visiting the fam out there. It's been a minute, man. I haven't been back to Been back to the homeland since I was about like 15, 16. Now I'm 33. So, it's been quite a long time. And most of my family lives in the U.S. now. So there's no real need to go back. But one of my boys that I grew up with said he was going. I ended up getting a free ticket flying there. So I'm like, bro, like whatever. And I tapped into my mom. I was like, yo, what's happening right now? Like, is there anybody out there? And apparently there's just like a great uncle I got there, but hey, that's a place to stay. So my homies, I'm going to stay with them for like 3 or 4 days. Then I'm going to go out to, my uncle's house out there and be staying out there, eating plenty of curry chicken, curry goat, chilling out, getting fat, and talking more shit about 50 Cent, I guess. But now I'm trying to make more travel content and everything too, because, my job, if things go well, I'm going to be doing a lot of remote work, so I'll be able to travel and be in different spots. And that's really what I love about this whole like live shit is I can just stare right into the camera, just talk. I don't got to do a bunch of editing, just do this. If anything, if there's a really good clip, download this shit, cut it, send it out, and that's it, man. But what are you up to? I'm fucking hungry out this bitch. I'm gonna take you guys on a little New York tour out here. We're leaving the West Village, and I'm gonna walk over to St. Mark's and see what I can get to eat. After 2 Arizona iced teas, I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm like, why not get a little food? There's a little spot in Chinatown. That's a little dumpling spot. It's like $4, like crazy fucking cheap. But part of me is like, damn, like, are they closed right now? Because it's about like 11 o'clock. I feel like they're closed. So I'm going to have to go over to St. Mark's. But next time I'm out here, next time I'm like in the area, I'm definitely taking you guys there. It's a store called Northern Dumpling. So right in Chinatown, always good vibes. Always good vibes. Super small, classic New York shit, you get that. You get like a little, steamed dumplings or fried dumplings for like $4. You get 10 of them for $4. And then, you can get like a little, plate of noodles and all that shit for fucking like $4 too, bro. $8 and you have a goddamn feast, dog. It's all about that. I'm telling you, that's the best thing. Like, people talk about New York being extremely expensive. It is expensive. But at the same time, a lot of the joy of New York is like finding the cheap stuff. Like finding the good deals, getting super cool with your deli guy. And he lets you get some sandwich on consignment. I get fronted sandwiches all day, dog. I own this city, bro. In fact, here's a bakery. They're closed right now. I believe.
You're taking us somewhere.
But
You said you were taking us
you should definitely check this out. This place is called Levain. Levain Bakery. And best bakery. Yeah, Levain right there. Best bakery I've ever been to for cookies. Like, best cookies I've ever had in my life. They have these chocolate chip walnut cookies that are fucking fire. Like fire. Like, I know it sounds like regular, like, oh, chocolate, nigga. This shit is crazy. It's on one, as they would say. Those cookies, man. I was gonna bring some home to my family, but I'm working and shit, so I can't really go out except for Christmas Day. And the family lives in South Jersey, which is like 2 hours is a little too far for me. But who knows? Who knows? But we about to get something to eat, man. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things in hip hop right now, man. I think hip hop's in a very weird place. If I do say so myself, you know, I feel like ever since the Kendrick and Drake beef, everything's been off balance. It's almost like you ever watch Avatar? You know what I mean? I feel like the Fire Nation just attacked, and now we need the Avatar to balance shit out. It's like, what is it? What is going on? You know? Because like hip hop, it's pretty crazy. And again, like Kendrick just outclassed him in every way. I'm not gonna, pretend he didn't. Um, but like everything's just gone so crazy because it's like I said, all the like hoteps and like boom bap, strictly boom bap fans have kind of acted like that's the only type of hip hop right now. Let me see. This is a cool ass display. Look at this. I kind of fuck with that jacket. Might have to cop that on the next paycheck. Shit looking nice out here. Look at my face. I look fresh out here. You know? But yeah, I feel like a lot of the boom bap homies, the hoteps, the the Kofi niggas, they came through and they turned hip hop completely upside down. Oh God. Like for years, hip hop has been about. I mean, it's about a lot of things. It contains multitudes, but let's be real. It's about fucking bad bitches, God damn. That truck was literally about to hit me, dog. That truck was about to hit me. Did not give a fuck. They were like, hey, there's a fire, we'll kill you to get there. Oh my God. New York, New York, New York. Facts, man. Oh my God. But like I was saying, for such a long time, you'd have this mixture. Like I said, the yin and the yang, Hip hop was about bad bitches, like how much money you could get, selling drugs, shooting niggas, doing all sorts of shit, right? And then it was also about, the problems that come from those things. Whether it's like any type of criminality or, any sort of like women not being valued or whatever. And, I think that's also too, like, kind of the paradigms of any genre. I think hip hop is just such a visceral genre when it comes to any sort of subject matter that it just feels more real. Because, like, hip hop, no one's really playing any instruments. It's pretty much mostly a spoken word medium. God damn, what is happening over here? Swear to God, man. Someone call Spider-Man, bro. We need to get rescued out here. Shit is crazy. Oh man. But I keep getting distracted because of giant sirens in my ears. But yeah, there's different multitudes when it comes to hip hop and the different things that go on within it. And there's always been a balance. And for me, as a lover of hip hop, I've always bounced between those two things because I think that's just the balance of the psyche. You know what I mean? Like, there's the vibe of gluttony, debauchery, and then there's the vibe of conservatism, right? And like religion and mental toughness as far as depriving yourselves of certain things, right? But I don't think either one is inherently good or inherently bad. I think they're just two things of the human condition, and each person needs them to kind of keep going, It's like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to have that mixture. You want to do that. But I think right now, because Kendrick is kind of on top, it's changed this paradigm. It's changed into this paradigm where everybody's pretending that hip hop has actually never been about any of the things that Kendrick isn't about. And it's actually crazy that any of us would think that it is. And that's what's annoying. It's like, if you just want to be like, oh, Kendrick won, fuck that shit, it's over for you guys, fine, whatever. But the weird vibe of like, what do you mean? This is hip hop. Like, Drake, why are you fucking guys like wives and shit? Or like, oh, you're messing with somebody's girl. You're breaking up a black family. It's like, what? When has this ever mattered? Like, I knew Drake was gonna lose the beef when the whole Pusha T thing happened, and Pusha T's main thing of winning was saying that Drake had a child, and everybody cared, and it didn't matter about the diss track. Like, the diss track was good. I'm not. I think Story of Adidon is a great diss, and it defeated Drake. It was better than Dubby. But I noticed that when it wasn't about the lyricism, it was just simply about like you're hiding a child. It's like, so what? Every rapper is hiding a child. They all hide children, you know, especially Diddy, but for different reasons. But but it's like, oh yeah, that's my kid, and I don't want to bother it. It's like they all have, kids like that. So it was a very weird thing that people were like, well, that means Drake lost a battle because we found out that he has one. That's what made me realize too that like no matter what loss he takes, he must, I don't know, like he's so big that like no matter what, he's always gonna be, I won't say number one, but a major entity. And this isn't me trying to like glaze or whatever the fuck. I hate saying that word. It's kind of gross, but it's not me like glazing or nothing like that. It's just the truth. It's like, it's almost weird. Like, I like him as like an artist, but I feel like it's weird how obsessed people are like with him, like as a human being, and like his emotional spectrum and like what he does. And like, I feel like every time I go on Twitter or like, Threads or something, somebody's writing like some sort of dissertation about like Drake's emotions and who he is as a man and all that shit. And it's like, simply because of this, he'll never like just fade away. Like, you guys want him to fade away, but because you keep writing about him and talking about him, he's never gonna fade away. Oh shit. Those two cabs almost hit each other. This fucking city is nuts. I swear, man. Oh my god. I think we're gonna have to get off soon. I'm a little over an hour, which I don't mind. It's fine. But I don't go to the bathroom. Let's see. This is St. Mark's. If you've never been down to St. Mark's in New York City, and it's the winter time, so it's pretty much half empty right now. Usually there would be, I would say, maybe not like a million more people, but it'd be a little bit more than this for sure. I will say things have gotten a little quieter after COVID, but I do feel like the city is kind of bouncing back, and shit has been pretty nice recently. A lot of people started moving back and stuff, and a lot of places are starting to open up late again. Like, even now, like, one of my boys canceled on me, but one of my favorite bars around here is like still open, so I'm probably gonna go there, have a little PBR and a shot, call it a night, and do my thing. But This is one of the dopest spots in like kind of the Lower East Side. You know, there's a bunch of Asian restaurants around here, like Japanese, Chinese places, and then a couple kind of just like random pubs. And I know none of this shit seems too special, but let me tell you, man, after a night of drinking, a lot of this shit hits. A lot of this shit hits. We're about to step into Two Brothers Pizza, which is like a bullshit pizza place, but I want to get a little slice. Mm-mm. God damn, it's cold outside. So cold.
I do a slice of sauce and pepperoni, please. Sauce pepperoni.
I gotta get some gloves. Thank you guys for checking this out too. I know it's been a long time since I posted, so I appreciate the dedication. Making me look good tonight. There's a reason I got to shape up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because of you motherfuckers. Oh, yeah.
Next.
What's up, man? Can I get 2 pepperoni slices?
I'm not moving room tonight.
Okay. Can I get 2 sausage slices?
Sausage?
Yeah.
Chest sausage?
Yeah. Sorry.
10 seconds.
Thank you.
That's it?
Let me get a Coke too.
I'll cooperate with Snyder.
Um,
I was zero,
let me
diet.
get a Dr. Pepper, I guess.
I'm just a bottle boy.
Let me get the Dr. Pepper cherry. You guys ever had Dr. Pepper cherry? I've never.
745.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I've never had the bravery to go into an establishment, like order food while I'm on stream or anything. So this is a watershed moment for me. There's like people here too, like a decent amount. I won't put them in camera because I don't want to be weird or nothing like that. But it's good vibes. Oh, man. You know?
Chicken broccoli.
Yeah, like I said, people think New York is super expensive, and it is. Living here, paying rent is expensive, but everything else not so bad. Thank you. Everything else not so bad.
Yo. What kind of slices are there?
I needed this shit. Classic New York pizza. Only $3. This is the shit pizza. I'm telling you. There's a lot better places. This place still does it better than most places in the country.
And I'll also do
you ever come to New York, there's a place called Joe's Pizza. Joe's Pizza is pretty famous. It's been around for a while. There's a couple different locations, but I'd say Prince Street Pizza is another one that's like really, really good. And I might like start going to like different restaurants and places that I know in the city that are fire and start doing some content there too. Anything to put shit out, man. You guys are cool. You've been supporting. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for everything. And I do think I'm gonna get off. It's been an hour, but I gotta indulge in this pizza. You guys have been dope, and we'll talk later. Peace. So, there we go.